So let me say very simply, I want more babies in the United States of America. It is the task of our government to make it easier for young moms and dads to afford to have kids, to bring them into the world, and to welcome them as the blessings that we know they are.
Bring them babies on. Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. Vice President J.D. Vance, you just heard there, advocating for more people to have children in the U.S. This comes as the Trump administration is reportedly considering giving out cash to inspire the next baby boom. One proposal includes a $5,000 bonus to mothers after delivery and reserving 30% of scholarships for the Fulbright program for applicants who are married or have children. These plans also align with a push from the GOP to bring back what it calls family values to fight a falling fertility rate, which has been dropping since 2008 in America and around the world. But some say $5,000 would barely make a dent in the cost of having a child. Let's see how our next guests feel about this. Joining us, parent Dale Lynn Settle, along with Ravianne, Layla E., and Miss Guillory, who have made the decision to be child-free. Glad to have you on The Factor. We're going to call you, what is that, childless cat lady?
You know what's funny? I'm like,
wait, you said it, not me.
Well, I got the kids, which is crazy. Like, I got a dog instead of a cat.
So, Miss, your thoughts about this?
My thoughts are this. First of all, that little $5,000 incentive would not cover Trump's McDonald's budget. Okay, let's go there. So the idea that that would help anybody, incentivize anyone to have a child is crazy. It's not even enough for me to get a good gift for a baby shower. I mean, seriously, it's just not enough. It doesn't cover a month of daycare. There's so many other things we could be doing for the kids who are already here. You know what I'm saying? Now we're trying to bring a whole bunch more in. I'm so sorry, but someone did not do anything about the cost of groceries. And so look, the people having children, that number is decreasing because the cost of living keeps increasing. So until the rest of society is straightened out, tossing $5,000 at people to incentivize having a whole person is insufficient. It's insufficient.
He said a whole
Just
person.
A whole person.
A human being. Ladies, go ahead. Continue this conversation.
Seriously, it's like, hell no to the no. Because it's like $5,000, as she said, really doesn't even put a dent in a $14,000 average cost of delivering a baby, right? Right now, the average cost of being able to have a child by 18 is $200,000 to $400,000. What is $5,000 going to do in today's economy? I think anything, people that would like to have a baby would like to have health care free, would like to have their children's school to be free when they go to college. There's a lot more that can be done in our economy in order for us to want to thrive and have children. There's a reason why millennials specifically have a low rate in children, because it's just too damn hard out here, Isaiah. and it's the real fact that $5,000 is a slap in the face. That's all he did.
It really is. And to piggyback off of that, you want people to have children. You're giving a one-time payment of $5,000. That literally isn't even a week of child care for daycare. And then on top of that, you're cutting funding for things like Medicaid. You're cutting the Department of Education. And like the mortality rate for women of color when it comes to giving birth is extremely high inside the country. So before you even think about trying to incentivize people to have more children, you need to fix the problems first. And then be like, hey, maybe you want to have kids now that we make it cheaper to have kids. We're making it a lot easier for you to get child care for when you go back to work, because also maternity leave is trash. It's like, what, 6 weeks? What are you gonna do with 6 weeks? You still need to recover. It takes like a month or two to recover after having a whole child. Your body changes. You need more than 6 weeks to recover.
All right, Dale, you have children.
Yeah, unfortunately, no shade, ladies, but I'm not a part of the cat lady committee. I mean, I wish I got the memo, but you know, I'm just
maybe it could be retroactive.
You know,
for
just fast after having kids. So like, I'm speaking from actual experience of just not like a statistic or a number. Like, I know what it costs to raise children. I know what it costs to raise 5 children. And the thing about it is that as I'm listening to these numbers and I'm listening to what's being said, the issue that I have is that we're not taking care of the children that are already already here on this planet. We're not taking care of the kids in America that we see every day. As a person that's in education, I see children suffering and struggling all the time. And so I'm like, what are we doing for these babies? People that are pro-life and they're fighting for, being pro-life. One of the things that Vance said that stood out to me was, he was like, we should be providing money to bring them into the world. Okay, what do we do when they're here? That might sound like number one, it's unethical in my opinion, but it's also unsustainable. And so that's probably the biggest issue that I have, is that we have mental health issues. You just got through talking on your last segment about the mental health awareness that we're doing for the men. So we have mental health issues. We have issues with, and then to single out and say only for married people, like that's not what our country looks like now. We have to think about what America is looking like right now. And there are a lot of single parents, some by choice, some
nerves. You just touch a nerve. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mish.
That's okay.
Mish, you stomp your feet.
You know what? No, it was a slip, but I'm thinking
that was the Holy Ghost.
It was really. I was moved. But real talk, what if someone had a child who had some difficulties and had some special needs? So are we quadrupling the stipend? I mean, there's so many other things to be done with money, other things to think about. And if you've looked at the internet, folks are going nuts. They're like, wait a minute, is this retroactive? Because I got some already.
I had twins. Can I get 2 checks?
You know what I'm saying? Right. You see people saying, I'm pregnant now. Does it count? Just all kinds of craziness. But at the end of the day, how about us single people with no kids? Can I have a bonus as well for not adding to the
stress?
Right? I'm just saying. No,
at least $3,000 to be the auntie. Babysit.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the aunties.
All the aunties gonna keep them. I need your number, your number, and your number. So
We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back with this conversation. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Federal leaders want you to have children, and they are considering giving you $5,000 a child. Now, according to some estimates, the average cost of raising a child in America at $23,000, and by the time that child is 18, that's about $414,000, not accounting for inflation or the cost of college tuition. Our guests are back here on the conversation for The Factor Uncensored. Does this at all feel offensive to some of you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Go ahead. Good. Let's talk
agree.
about it.
It is offensive.
Well, as a woman, first of all, it feels offensive because if I'm carrying a child, unless I'm doing surrogacy, like I don't feel like my child could be bought. There's no price for the kids that I birth. Those are my babies, and I'm not paying any. I don't want anybody to give me money to have those kids. Now I'm still gonna take my tax return because that's my money. However, to pay me to have my kids, and then I was thinking during the break, okay, so what about people that have, sign up for this, they have the baby dies, or the baby doesn't make it through the end of the pregnancy? Is that life not as valuable as a kid that does, go on and thrive? Like, so are we not going to pay them for that? It just has me thinking about all of these different things that we're not really thinking because we're putting a price tag to the value of life.
Right. And it's offensive because there are other elements that came with it. There was one woman who said, we want to give a medal of motherhood for having 6 kids or more. I'm so sorry. The idea of 6 lives coming up out of me, there's something about that that's just frightening. But real talk, why would you just shrink it down, motherhood, her very important job, down to a flipping medal? It is insulting. Every little piece of this is just weird. And on top of that, again, we're not all cat ladies. Some of us are dog ladies, I'm just saying.
Okay. Shout out Sancho, Sweetie Buddy, and Sancho.
Thank you.
Zeus.
Mama love you.
I love you.
Name your dog.
In all honesty, like watching this administration going in, it was because of social media that started getting me curious about Handmaid's Tales, right? And I watched it and I started freaking out because I'm like, it sounds like our government currently is on the way towards something very similar. And for those that may not have watched it or don't know, it's basically where there's a low birth rate. So they're forcing people to have handmaids, to have children, to give them away, basically snatch them up. And so right now we really need to be diligent in what is being said by our higher ups, right? Because all these small moves is going to be a bigger move that can definitely be detrimental to us women especially. It's just really sad the direction that we're going.
It really is, because I feel like they're trying to put a price tag on being a woman, which is an extreme slap in the face, because it's bad enough we have to go through so much as women, but then also to put a price tag on, oh, here's $5,000 if you have kids. Like, it's priceless to have kids. Like, it's unconditional love that you get for another human and the bond that you have. So to put a price on that, I think is very disgusting and really, like, like I said, a slap in the face to women. And then on top of that, it's like only $5,000 they want to go to people who are married. What about people who aren't married and have kids too? So you don't want to help these lives out, but they're also contributing to the birth rate that's so low. So why is it only married couples get the benefits, and why can't people who aren't married get the benefits as well?
And of course, all studies indicate that the birth rate is down around the world. But Mish, as you indicated, it's by choice. Many people are saying, look, we're educated women now, we're professionals. We choose not to do that. That's just not on my agenda.
It's not on the agenda. No regrets on my end. I'm perfectly happy with my life.
Don't you
Some
see her
women,
face?
I love
No
you.
stress.
I love you. Let me be honest. Some people never believe, and I'm going to say it. I'm 53 years old, and people give me that, what? And I'll ask them, forgive me for asking you, but are you married? And they'll say yes. I said, do you have kids? They say yes. I said, I don't have either. It is what it is. I don't have either. But real talk,
Because baby, I'm bad.
Yeah, we all love skincare. I would want the government to get out of legislating people's bodies. There's too much of that going on. Don't you think? Get out of the talk about whether a woman can or cannot have abortions, especially when it's medically necessary. Get out of, we need y'all to have more kids. These are not baby-making factories over here. And so the government getting into legislating what we physically do is just unreal. It's too much.
And just $5,000, that's like the hospital bill. That you
Not
not
even.
walking, that's not even the bill.
even.
That's
You-
the free clinic
I mean, that's
bill.
with
That ain't
insurance. Like, that's literally with
Hospital bill.
insurance. That was literally one of my
Right.
hospital bills with insurance.
Can we just get universal health care? Maybe that would
Let's
help. You
start
know what
there,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
I wonder if the
Yeah.
men would be as negative as us on this tip. Like, I wonder if men would actually say, well, if they incentivize me, I'll take the $5,000. You know?
men aren't the
Well, they
ones
already
going
kind of
through
get it.
Men
They
aren't
already
the
get
ones-
the incentive
like
though,
they are,
because
though.
if you
They're
think
not
about
the
it, they go
ones
to
who get
sperm banks
pregnant.
all the time and
But
they're
he
getting
said
paid for
married
it. So,
couples,
yeah.
so they are going to get the money.
I
Catch the
forgot
clue
that.
here. He's
Yeah.
talking about couples, aren't married
But you know how
couples.
many married couples that are not really married couples? Like, it's just one person that's
People
you know what I mean?
manipulate the system all the
Yeah.
time.
That's a
And then what do
whole
you do
nother
with a
segment,
couple
Dale.
that has a kid? What do you do with a gay couple that has a child through a surrogate? I mean, there's way too many.
It's way too much
twists and
going on
turns
for
here.
them to
Yeah.
there's too much going on in the
So
world to
much.
focus on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Really.
Ladies, thank you for joining us. We
Like
could
this
go on
birthday
and on and on. Great job.